Welcome Bitcoin friends, it's Bitcoin Mamo. So in the previous video we did some more longer term analysis looking at why I don't think this bull market's over, and in this video we'll do some more short term analysis. So let's get straight into it. This is on the 4-hour chart, and I did have this wedge pattern drawn here, and if we just take the measured move here from the second touch point here to the top and put it at the breakdown level, we can see we got pretty close to this target here, and I think we're looking to make a higher low here and possibly some divergence. So just to the daily now, I just want to explain these blue boxes here. And I did see this on another channel. The channel is called Roman. He's a very good trader who's been in a lot longer than me, and I did learn a lot from him. I will put a link in the description if you want to watch that. He really is teaching a lot about how the market works. So what I learned from him is if we look back in the past pattern here, this is on the daily as I said, and we look at inflection points. So we see here the price was going down, but we did go sideways here for a bit. So we just capture that range with a box and drag it all the way across. You can see here we did another inflection point on the way up, and also a short one here. And you could even make one here as well. But just using these three and dragging that across, we can see areas where people were willing to sell and people were willing to buy in these ranges, and there was liquidity. So we look at these areas as possible support or resistance, and currently we can see we did get support on top of this blue box here, and now we are coming and testing it again. Currently we are above it. We're currently at 35.9. And if we break below this box, I'd be looking for this next box here, which is at 33.5 to 34.3. We could also draw one more box here at this point, and that was an inflection point also where we went sideways. So we can drag that across, and this area would be between 33,000 and 32,100. And I would be looking for some support in these areas. And just looking on the daily RSI here, we might be forming some divergence here. If we can make a higher low on the RSI and a lower low on the price, and then get the bounce and try to engulf this red candle, that would confirm the divergence. We could come lower here still, but this previous drop did get us quite low to a 22 reading. And if we look back in the past, we can see that we haven't been that low since the crash back in March of last year, the stock market crash. And I also have this trend line drawn here, just connecting in these major lows. This one was back in November of 2018. So we could possibly come back to this trend line and see a bounce there. Onto the 4-hour chart, and we can see we are trying to form a divergence here between this low here and this lower low of this candle that closed. And currently we do have higher lows on the RSI, but to confirm it we would need to close above the previous candle at around 36,900 and close that 4-hour candle above that one, engulfing it. And we also had divergence here between these 2 points with lower lows on the price and higher lows on the RSI. And altogether here, this is a triple bullish divergence. This one was quite close together here, so they are more significant when there's a bigger gap between them. So if we can get that green candle above this support zone here and engulfing this red one, that would be a good sign that we would look for a bounce, and then look for this area here which may act as resistance at 38.8 to 39.3 approximately. And if we got above that level, we would be looking to turn it into support and hopefully get a bounce there. On the 4-hour chart again here, you can see we had this triangle pattern here. And if we just take the measured move here from the second touch point and put it at the breakdown level, you can see we've pretty much met that target here on this drop. And also doing a fib retracement from the bottom to the highest point here. You can see the golden pocket area is around 35,000 to 34,550. So I would be looking for a long here, but we could possibly come down here to this support zone, which would be around 33,000 to 32,000. I also have these blue boxes drawn here, and if we pull up the VPVR indicator, this is the volume traded at certain price levels. We can see that the biggest spikes here, I've got them marked with these blue boxes. Depends exactly how you've got it drawn here. I've got it marked with these blue boxes here. So these are areas where there was high volume traded, and we'd be looking for these to act as support also. I've just got that drawn in so it's easier to see, and we can see there is support here if we do drop down lower, and the top of this box is at 34,380, and that would be near this golden pocket area. So I would be looking for a bounce around this area, anywhere between 32,000 and 35,000, and this is where I'm going long. I'm not expecting to make a lower low here. We did have a lot of volume traded here, and that usually indicates bottoms or tops in trends, and we got that massive bounce, which was a 25% bounce by the time that 4-hour candle closed. So there is a lot of demand here to buy. If we look at the 4-hour stochastic RSI, we can see it has been coming down here, but we are getting quite close to the bottom. So we might bottom out, as I said, in this area before we bounce, and also be looking at that 4-hour bullish divergence that might play out. As for resistance at the top, we have this 4-hour Ema Ribbon here, and we can see we've came up a couple times here to test it and got rejected. We didn't quite make it here on this one, and in this recent pullback we did come into the ribbon and get this big rejection, and I did play out a short based on this ribbon, and I've sold that already and started going long from this 0.5 level with a small amount, and then adding larger amounts at these lower levels. We also have this Ema Ribbon acting as support on the weekly currently, and we can see we did close above the bottom of this ribbon, and the lowest point here is around 32,000, 31.9. So I do expect this ribbon to hold us as support. As we can see in the previous bull market, we never did drop below this ribbon. We didn't go in as deep as this current pullback, but it did act as support all the way up in this run. Something else I am looking at here on the weekly is we could possibly be forming a hidden bullish divergence on the weekly. We can see here we have lower lows on the weekly. Of course, got a few more days to close. And looking on the price, taking it from the same point, we can see we have higher lows on the bodies of the candles, lower lows on the RSI, so that is hidden bullish divergence. And again, to confirm that, we do need a big green candle here to engulf this one, and we would need it to get all the way back up to 46,680. But we could open the next week candle and form another data point here, and then we would just need to engulf that week's candle with the following one. And just looking on the futures chart here, it looks like we're building a similar hidden bullish divergence on the weekly chart, and this chart will be closing soon, so we may see that hidden bullish divergence on the futures chart before the spot chart. And again, we would like to see a big bounce here trying to engulf this red candle. But again, we could have another small red candle here, and we would still be building that hidden bullish divergence, and then the following week's candle would only have to engulf the candle before it. And taking a quick look at market Cipher indicator, we do currently have a green dot on the daily, and the day hasn't closed yet. It's still got a few more hours, but that would be another bullish sign that we might have a turnaround. We also have these numbers on here. This is a new addition to the market Cipher indicator, and we can see there's a 20 value here down the bottom and a -3 at the top. And the larger the number on the bottom, it can indicate that we are looking to go up on the following candles. As we can see, when we had higher numbers here on the top ones, very high number here at 20, and we did get this drop down. And these numbers are based on a number of different indicators that are merged together to give this number value reading. The 12-hour chart has been getting a green dot here. We did get a red dot and we started coming back down again with this big drop. And we also had this yellow cross, which can indicate manipulation in the market. And we did get this big drop after this yellow cross. We do have another green dot now. We got it on this candle. We aren't seeing a red dot yet, but the next candle will open when the new daily candle opens. So we will look for that red dot. We see the 6 hour was trying to come up. We did get this red dot here. We have come back down. So the more shorter term time frames are looking a bit more bearish. The 4-hour chart also got a red dot here and a blood diamond, and that is being played out at the moment. We have had this pullback. So the 4-hour also looks bearish until we can bottom out here and look for another green dot. And the 2-hour is a little bit less reliable, but we still haven't bottomed out on the 2-hour chart here. And finally the 1-hour chart, it is starting to curve around, so we look for the green dot on the lower time frames first and then follow it up with the higher time frames. So that's about all for today. If you want to see my views on why I don't think this bull market's over, check out the previous video also made on this day where I compared this current cycle to the 2013 cycle. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on Bitcoin Mamo. Bye.